has never produced genius. It has never birthed vision. It has never whispered the breakthrough idea. The greatest creators, builders, and leaders have all relied on something beyond reason. They have listened to impressions that came in moments of stillness. They have acted on insights others could not see. They trusted a higher channel of intelligence. This is not superstition. It is not fantasy. It is a law of the mind. Your brain is more than a thinking machine. It is a broadcasting and receiving station for thought. It vibrates with energy. It sends out signals through desire and faith. And when properly tuned, it receives ideas from sources you cannot touch. But here is the tragedy. Most men clog this receiver with fear. Fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of failure, fear of loss. These ghosts create static. They distort the signal. And when the signal is distorted, inspiration cannot reach you clearly. Have you noticed how clarity comes in quiet moments? During a walk alone, in the early hours before the world wakes, in the silence just before sleep. That is when the mind softens its grip on fear. The sixth sense does not operate in noise. It operates in faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your purpose, faith that there is intelligence greater than your present understanding. When fear subsides, the channel opens. You may say, "How do I know it is real?" You will know because of the certainty it brings. When true intuition speaks, it does not feel frantic. It does not beg you. It arrives calmly. It feels like remembering something you already knew. It carries conviction without chaos. This faculty is awakened through definiteness of purpose. When your mind is scattered across a dozen conflicting aims, you cannot tune into higher guidance. But when you fix your desire upon a single objective, your thoughts begin to harmonize. Harmony attracts insight. That is why drifting men rarely experience inspired ideas. They lack a target. And without a target, the mind has nothing to tune toward. The sixth sense grows stronger when you guard your thoughts. Every negative influence you entertain weakens it. Every doubt you repeat dulls its edge. Your inner voice cannot compete with constant mental noise. You must become selective about what enters your mind. What conversations do you allow? What media do you consume? What fears do you rehearse? Each one shapes the clarity of your inner signal. If you truly wish to access wisdom beyond reason, you must practice silence. Not just physical silence, but mental quiet. Moments each day when you withdraw from distraction. When you sit with your purpose and ask for guidance without strain. At first, nothing may seem to happen. You may feel foolish, impatient, doubtful. Continue anyway, for the sixth sense strengthens through persistence. Just as muscle grows under resistance, intuition sharpens under disciplined attention. You begin to notice patterns, repeated impressions, subtle nudges guiding you toward or away from certain paths. And one day, without warning, an idea will strike with force. An idea so clear, so powerful, so undeniable that you cannot ignore it. It may change your career, redirect your investments, reshape your relationships. It will not come from frantic thought. It will come from alignment. Most men spend years searching outward for answers that were waiting inward. They seek approval, validation, endless advice. Yet the deepest wisdom available to them has been present all along. The sixth sense is not reserved for mystics. It belongs to disciplined thinkers who have conquered fear and cultivated faith. If you learn to listen within, you will never again feel completely lost. You will still face obstacles. You will still experience setbacks, but you will move with direction, with quiet confidence, with the sense that you are guided rather than drifting. That is the difference between wandering and purpose. The door to wisdom does not swing open through force. It opens through belief, clarity, and disciplined thought. In this lesson, you will learn how to strengthen this faculty deliberately, how to reduce mental interference, how to sharpen your perception, how to distinguish fear from guidance. But first, you must decide to trust that there is more available to you than logic alone. The men who achieve extraordinary things are not merely intelligent, they are tuned, they listen, they act when others hesitate, they sense opportunities invisible to the crowd. And that capacity lies dormant within you. Guard your thoughts, quiet your fears, fix your purpose, then listen. Before a man can enter the door to wisdom, he must understand that his brain is not a machine of cold logic alone. It is an instrument of vibration. It broadcasts through desire and receives through faith. When tuned correctly, it becomes sensitive to impressions beyond the reach of deliberate reasoning. When clogged with fear, it becomes dull. Most men live unaware that their instrument is misaligned. They rehearse anxiety daily. They dwell upon limitation. They entertain criticism until it feels permanent. Each repeated fear produces vibration of its own. That vibration creates static. The six ghosts of fear are not dramatic apparitions. They are habits of thought. Fear of poverty whispers caution until ambition weakens. Fear of criticism persuades silence where courage is required. Fear of loss distorts judgment. These ghosts create constant interference. When fear dominates, impressions become distorted. Panic masquerades as intuition. Impulse disguises itself as inspiration. Yet true inner guidance is calm. It does not rush. It does not shout. It arrives with quiet certainty. The first discipline, therefore, is mental cleansing. Identify the fears that recur most often. Write them plainly. Examine their source. Replace them deliberately with affirmations of faith. Faith is not blind optimism. It is disciplined belief reinforced through repetition. Each time you choose confidence over anxiety, you reduce static. Consider Abraham Lincoln during periods of intense national division. Surrounded by criticism, he cultivated inner steadiness. Without mastery over fear, such steadiness would have been impossible. Others observe the difference in a man who has conquered fear. His speech lacks agitation. His eyes reveal calm focus. He is not immune to difficulty, yet he is not governed by it. 10 years may be saved by eliminating fear early. 20 by refusing to rehearse it habitually. 30 by living in faith rather than anxiety. Guard your mental environment carefully. Limit conversation that magnifies fear. Withdraw from influences that reinforce doubt. Each negative repetition weakens reception. Affirm daily, I cleanse my mind of fear. I cultivate faith deliberately. My thoughts are clear and disciplined. Repeat until belief strengthens. Repetition engraves conviction upon the subconscious. Notice how clarity increases when anxiety subsides. Decisions feel steadier. Insight feels sharper. Preparation is not glamorous. It is daily vigilance. Guard imagination. Guard speech. Guard association. The sixth sense cannot operate in a mind consumed by agitation. It requires calm vibration. When fear recedes, space is created for impression. The instrument begins to respond as intended. You may not receive dramatic revelation immediately, yet subtle clarity will increase. You will sense difference between restless impulse and steady guidance. Continue cleansing. Continue replacing fear with faith. Continue refining thought. The man who masters fear prepares the way for higher counsel. Without preparation, reception is distorted. With preparation, perception strengthens. If you desire to save 10 years of misjudgment, conquer fear now. If you desire to save 20, refuse to rehearse anxiety tomorrow. If you desire to save 30, live in disciplined faith permanently. The door to wisdom does not open through force. It opens when interference is removed. Clear the instrument, silence the ghosts, and you will find that the guidance you once overlooked was waiting for a mind disciplined enough to receive it. After cleansing the mind of fear, the next step is to fix the dial. An instrument that has been cleared of static must still be tuned. A receiver cannot gather clear signal if it is turning constantly from station to station. Likewise, the human mind cannot receive definite guidance while drifting among conflicting ambitions. The sixth sense does not operate effectively in a scattered consciousness. When a man desires many things without choosing one supreme objective, his vibration becomes confused. He sends mixed signals. Reception weakens. Definiteness of purpose harmonizes thought. When desire is concentrated upon one chief aim, mental energy gathers. Faith intensifies. The brain begins to vibrate steadily rather than erratically. Consider Thomas Edison. His mind was fixed upon invention. His thought moved persistently in one direction. It is no wonder that ideas appeared to him in flashes. He had tuned himself to one frequency through concentrated desire. Henry Ford insisted upon his vision of affordable motor cars when others declared it impractical. His purpose was not casual, it was definite. Because of that definiteness, impressions that guided improvement became clear. Edwin C. Barnes, who resolved to become associated with Edison, possessed no resources but possessed intense desire. That desire harmonized his thought and directed his action. Inner conviction replaced uncertainty. A drifting man rarely experiences inspired insight because he lacks a target. Without a target, there is no alignment. The mind wanders. Reception blurs. Fix your mind upon one dominating purpose. Write it. Repeat it. Attach emotion to it. Let it become the axis around which your thought revolves. When purpose is definite, impressions begin aligning with it. Ideas appear relevant rather than random. Opportunities seem timely rather than accidental. Others notice the certainty in a man with fixed aim. His speech carries conviction. His movements reveal direction. Even before achievement, his composure reflects harmony. 10 years may be saved by choosing one aim early and holding to it. 20 by refusing to dilute it in response to temporary difficulty. 30 by sustaining concentration throughout life. Scattered ambition produces scattered results. Concentrated ambition produces compounded influence. The daily ritual of reinforcing purpose strengthens tuning. Read your aim aloud morning and night. Visualize its realization. Imagine the satisfaction of completion. This repetition intensifies vibration. The subconscious mind responds to emotionalized thought. When purpose is infused with feeling, it penetrates deeply. Inner guidance strengthens in response. Guard against divided desire. Each conflicting objective weakens harmony. Evaluate ambitions carefully before adopting them. Maintain simplicity of aim. Affirm daily, my purpose is clear and definite. My mind is tuned to receive ideas aligned with it. I concentrate my desire upon one chief aim. Repeat until the statement feels inseparable from identity. Observe how clarity increases as your purpose strengthens. Decisions become easier because they are measured against one standard. Distractions lose appeal. The sixth sense thrives in harmony. Harmony is born of definiteness. If you wish to access wisdom beyond ordinary reasoning, fix your dial firmly. Do not turn it endlessly. Hold it steady. Preparation cleared the static. Purpose sets the frequency. When both are disciplined, reception strengthens, and the impressions you receive will increasingly align with your chosen destination. After the mind has been cleansed of fear and tuned through definiteness of purpose, there remains one discipline without which the sixth sense will not fully awaken. That discipline is silence. Not mere absence of sound, but absence of agitation. The world encourages constant activity. Conversation flows without pause. Opinions arrive in steady stream. The mind is rarely given opportunity to rest from outer influence. In such noise, subtle guidance is drowned. The sixth sense does not compete for attention. It does not shout above confusion. It speaks in quiet impression. Therefore, you must create conditions in which quiet may be heard. There is a difference between strained thinking and receptive awareness. Strained thinking forces solution. It pushes. It wrestles. Receptive awareness listens. It waits. It invites. Set aside moments each day for deliberate solitude. Early morning before the world intrudes is especially powerful. Late evening, when noise subsides, offers equal opportunity. In these hours, the mind becomes less defensive. Sit calmly with your definite purpose in mind. Do not beg for answer. Do not strain. Simply hold your objective clearly and allow thought to settle. At first, nothing may appear. Impatience may tempt you to abandon the practice. Persist. Silence is cultivated gradually as muscle strengthens through repetition. Consider how many leaders withdrew before making great decisions. Abraham Lincoln often sought private reflection before responding to crisis. In solitude, clarity emerges. Others sense the depth in a man who reflects before speaking. His responses are measured. He does not react hastily. He listens before acting. 10 years may be saved by daily mental quiet. 20 by protecting early hours from distraction. 30 by sustaining reflective discipline throughout life. Guard against constant stimulation. Limit unnecessary conversation. Avoid endless distraction. Each interruption dulls perception. The practice of stillness strengthens discernment. You begin to notice subtle impressions you once ignored. Patterns become clearer. Decisions feel steadier. Affirm daily. In quiet, I receive guidance. My mind is calm and attentive. I listen without strain. Repeat this before each period of reflection. Silence is not emptiness. It is preparation. It creates space for impression. The sixth sense grows sharper when given room to operate. Without room, it weakens. When an idea arrives during quiet, it often carries unusual clarity. It feels complete rather than fragmented. It does not beg for validation. Continue the practice even when results appear small. Discipline compounds. The quiet chamber within you is always available. Few enter it consistently. Those who do discover that inspiration increases with regularity. Silence refines perception just as refinement strengthens skill. It is daily exercise for higher faculty. Preparation removed fear. Purpose tuned frequency. Silence opens reception. Together, they create alignment. In that alignment, the sixth sense begins to operate naturally rather than rarely. Guard your quiet moments fiercely. They are more valuable than constant activity. For in stillness, wisdom finds room to speak. As the sixth sense strengthens, another discipline becomes necessary. Not every inner voice is guidance. The human mind can produce impulse, fear, desire, and imagination that imitate intuition. Therefore, discernment must accompany receptivity. True guidance carries calm conviction. It does not arrive in panic. It does not press with frantic urgency. It feels steady. It resembles recognition rather than surprise. Fear, by contrast, rushes. It exaggerates danger. It demands immediate retreat. Excitement may also masquerade as guidance. Sudden enthusiasm, unsupported by purpose, may tempt you toward impulsive action. Yet excitement without harmony soon fades. The test of impression is alignment with your definite purpose. Ask yourself, does this idea harmonize with my chief aim? Does it strengthen my direction or distract from it? Harmony confirms authenticity. Balance impression with reason. The sixth sense does not abolish analysis. It works in cooperation with it. Reason tests feasibility. Intuition suggests direction. Together they form wisdom. Henry Ford's decision to persist in developing his enterprise was not blind impulse. It was steady conviction supported by persistent effort. He acted from calm determination, not emotional frenzy. The man guided by true impression appears composed. He does not boast prematurely. He moves with measured confidence. Others may not understand his reasoning, yet they sense steadiness. 10 years may be saved by refusing impulsive decisions, 20 by testing each impression carefully, 30 by living in disciplined balance between reason and inspiration. Develop the habit of brief reflection before decisive action. When an idea arises, write it, examine it, allow a period of quiet evaluation. If it remains steady rather than fading, it likely holds truth. Guard against panic disguised as caution. Fear may attempt to prevent bold action by claiming protection. True intuition does not paralyze, it clarifies. Affirm daily, I distinguish fear from guidance. I act upon calm conviction aligned with my purpose. Repeat until discrimination becomes instinctive. Observe your emotional state when impression arrives. If agitation dominates, wait. If peace accompanies it, proceed thoughtfully. Discernment strengthens through experience. The more you test impressions wisely, the clearer they become. The sixth sense is not license for recklessness. It is a channel for higher wisdom guided by disciplined thought. Preparation cleansed the instrument. Purpose tuned it. Silence opened it. Discernment protects it. Without protection, impulse may mislead. With protection, guidance becomes reliable. Years are often lost through impulsive action taken in emotional heat. Years are saved through calm evaluation, guided by steady impression. The door to wisdom remains open only when guarded carefully. Cultivate this balance diligently, and your decisions will increasingly reflect harmony rather than haste. When a man has cleansed his mind of fear, fixed it upon a definite purpose, cultivated silence, and learned to distinguish calm conviction from impulse, he stands at the threshold of a greater understanding. The sixth sense is not an end in itself. It is a doorway. Beyond it lies what I have called infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence is not superstition. It is recognition that the human mind is capable of communion with greater knowledge than conscious reasoning alone can supply. Through harmony of thought and emotion, a man taps a higher source of guidance. The sixth sense opens that communion. It allows impressions to pass from the unseen realm of creative thought into the conscious mind. Yet this faculty strengthens most powerfully when united with others in harmony. The mastermind principle multiplies intuition. When two or more minds unite in spirit of cooperation toward a definite purpose, a third force emerges. That force heightens perception. It sharpens insight. It accelerates solution. Consider the cooperative efforts behind great enterprises. No single individual carried the entire burden of invention or expansion. Harmonized minds generated ideas beyond the capacity of one alone. When you align yourself with disciplined individuals who share your purpose, intuition strengthens collectively. Ideas flow more readily. Discernment improves. Courage increases. Others observe a quiet assurance in one who lives in harmony with higher counsel. He does not hesitate endlessly. He acts when conviction is clear. He remains composed in uncertainty. Acting boldly upon true impression requires faith. Faith, reinforced daily, becomes strength. Without faith, impression may be doubted into silence. Temporary defeat will still occur. Harmony with infinite intelligence does not remove obstacles. It provides direction through them. When adversity appears, the guided man seeks lesson rather than surrender. 10 years may be saved by trusting calm conviction when it aligns with purpose. 20 by sustaining faith when others doubt. 30 by living consistently attuned to higher counsel. Guard faith carefully. Surround yourself with constructive thought. Withdraw from chronic negativity. Each repeated doubt weakens alignment. Affirm daily, I am in harmony with infinite intelligence. Guidance flows to me clearly. I act with courage and faith. Repeat until belief strengthens into certainty. The man who lives attuned to higher counsel moves differently through life. He is less frantic. He is less scattered. He senses direction even when path is not fully visible. Others seek his advice. They trust his judgment, not because he possesses all facts, but because he demonstrates steadiness. The sixth sense grows stronger with use. The more you listen and act wisely, the clearer impressions become. Neglect weakens it. Discipline strengthens it. Remember that this faculty belongs to you by nature, yet awakens only through conscious practice. Guard thought, fix purpose, cultivate silence, exercise discernment, live in harmony. Do this daily, and you will find that ideas arise more freely, decisions feel more certain, and direction remains steady. You will no longer feel entirely alone in judgment. You will sense guidance beyond visible reasoning. 10 years saved by early practice, 20 by consistent application, 30 by lifelong devotion to harmony. The door to wisdom stands open. It does not open through force. It opens through faith and disciplined thought. Walk through it deliberately, and you will discover that the greatest advantage available to you was never external. It was within, waiting to be awakened. There are men who will hear of this faculty and dismiss it as imagination. There are others who will feel a stirring of recognition, yet fail to cultivate it. And there are the few who will practice daily until the sixth sense becomes not a mystery, but a companion. The tragedy of living by logic alone is subtle. Logic measures what is visible. It calculates risk. It evaluates fact. Yet logic by itself has never birthed vision. It refines what exists. It does not originate what does not yet appear. Every great advancement in history began as impression before it became invention. The idea was first unseen. The conviction was first internal. Those who acted upon such impressions were not reckless. They were attuned. If you neglect this faculty, you may still achieve moderate success. You may still accumulate wealth through persistence and effort, yet you will move with heavier burden. Decisions will feel strained. Direction will feel uncertain. The sixth sense lightens this burden. It does not remove responsibility, it clarifies it. When inner conviction is strong, hesitation weakens. Constant fear closes the door to wisdom. Anxiety consumes attention. Doubt distorts perception. When fear dominates, even correct impressions are ignored. Therefore, guard your mental atmosphere continually. Remove chronic negativity. Refuse to rehearse imagined disaster. Replace fear with faith deliberately and repeatedly. The compounding power of daily attunement is extraordinary. A single day of silence may yield little. A single month may seem ordinary. Yet years of disciplined listening transform judgment profoundly. 10 years may be saved by early cultivation of this faculty. Instead of wandering through repeated misjudgments, you move steadily with clearer direction. 20 years may be saved by sustaining attunement during adversity. 30 by living permanently guided rather than drifting. The difference between wandering and guided living is evident over time. The wanderer reacts to circumstance. The guided man responds with composure. The wanderer seeks advice endlessly. The guided man listens inwardly before seeking counsel outwardly. This does not imply arrogance. The guided man still values wisdom from others, yet he weighs it against his inner conviction. He does not surrender his compass lightly. Others perceive something distinctive in such an individual. They may not understand it fully. They may call it confidence or presence, yet what they sense is harmony. Harmony between thought and action produces quiet authority. The guided man speaks with fewer words but greater weight. His decisions are measured. His demeanor is steady. Opportunity seems to follow him not because of magic, but because his clarity attracts cooperation. People trust steadiness. The invisible advantage gained through harmony cannot be exaggerated. It strengthens leadership. It deepens trust. It reduces waste of effort. Guard this faculty as you would guard treasure. Do not allow cynicism to dull it. Do not allow ridicule to silence it. Practice silence daily, even when busy. Reaffirm your purpose even when fatigued. If ever you feel confusion returning, examine the source. Have you allowed fear to re-enter? Have you neglected quiet reflection? Have you divided your aim? Correction restores clarity. Remember that the sixth sense is strengthened through obedience. When impression arises calmly and you act upon it wisely, confidence increases. When you ignore it repeatedly, it weakens. Affirm daily, I trust the guidance that comes in calm conviction. I cultivate silence. I live in harmony with infinite intelligence. Repeat until trust replaces hesitation. You will still encounter obstacles. Guidance does not eliminate challenge. It directs you through it. It provides perspective when emotion threatens to dominate. Consider the years wasted by men who ignored their inner warning, investments made against instinct, alliances formed against intuition, paths chosen against quiet counsel. How many regrets trace back to ignored impression? Now consider the years saved when impression is honored. How many dangers avoided? How many opportunities seized? How many detours prevented? 10 years saved by listening once, 20 by listening consistently, 30 by living attuned. The sixth sense is not dramatic in daily appearance. It is subtle. It requires discipline to recognize, yet its long-term effect is dramatic. Those who cultivate it rarely announce it. They simply live with direction. They appear fortunate. They seem prepared. In truth, they are tuned. You stand now aware of this faculty. Awareness alone does not activate it. Practice does. Guard your thought, fix your purpose, enter silence, test impressions, act with faith. Repeat this cycle daily. The door to wisdom remains open to those who knock persistently. Do not wait for crisis to seek inner counsel. Seek it daily in ordinary moments. Familiarity strengthens access. When the inner voice becomes trusted companion, you move through life with quiet certainty. You are not immune to doubt, yet you are not governed by it. Your decisions carry weight because they are aligned. Your actions carry conviction because they are harmonized. Others will sense stability in you. They will feel calm in your presence. They will trust your judgment. Not because you claim special power, but because you cultivated it quietly. 10 years reclaimed from hesitation, 20 reclaimed from confusion, 30 reclaimed from wandering. The sixth sense is not an ornament of philosophy. It is an instrument of power. Use it, guard it, strengthen it, and you will discover that the wisdom you once sought outwardly was available inwardly all along. The men who achieve extraordinary results are not merely thinkers, they are listeners. Become one of them. Listen daily, act wisely, remain steady, and let the inner voice lead you through years with clarity that others spend decades searching for. The door stands open, enter with faith. There is a peculiar habit among men. They trust their fears more quickly than their faith. They rehearse doubt without hesitation, yet question their own calm conviction. In doing so, they delay the very guidance that might spare them needless struggle. Most men do not seek their higher faculty until adversity corners them. Only when logic fails do they turn inward. Yet by then confusion has often multiplied. How many years are lost before a man learns to consult the counsel he carried within from the beginning? Cleverness may accumulate facts. Wisdom discerns direction. Cleverness calculates advantage. Wisdom senses timing. Cleverness argues. Wisdom listens. The sixth sense matures not in a single revelation, but across seasons of discipline. It strengthens as character strengthens. For the man who is dishonest with himself cannot receive clearly. Self-deception clouds perception. Character and reception are linked. When your conduct aligns with your declared purpose, inner counsel becomes sharper. When you violate your own standard, static returns. The silent advantage of trusting calm conviction becomes evident over time. You avoid alliances that appear profitable yet feel misaligned. You decline ventures that glitter yet contradict your purpose. You accept challenges that align even when comfort protests. How many lives have been diverted by ignoring inner warning? How many opportunities missed by dismissing quiet encouragement? Years accumulate quietly through such neglect. 10 years redeemed by listening early. 20 redeemed by trusting steady impression over popular opinion. 30 redeemed by cultivating this discipline as lifelong companion. Make it habit to consult inwardly before major decision. Withdraw briefly. Enter silence. Ask whether the proposed action harmonizes with your purpose and your conscience. Wait calmly. If agitation remains, postpone. If peace persists, proceed. The habit of daily consultation strengthens self-trust. You become less dependent upon constant reassurance. Confidence grows because decisions feel aligned rather than forced. Others will notice the difference. You will appear less hurried, more deliberate. You will speak with fewer regrets because your actions reflect reflection. Discernment becomes inheritance. Those who observe you learn patience. They witness that haste is not strength. They see that listening is not weakness. In time, you become source of counsel for others, not because you claim authority, but because your steadiness invites trust. Guard against pride. The sixth sense does not elevate you above others. It aligns you more deeply with law. Remain humble. Remain attentive. Affirm daily. I consult the wisdom within before I decide. I trust calm conviction aligned with my purpose. I live in harmony with higher law. Repeat until trust becomes instinct. There will still be seasons of uncertainty. No man is exempt from challenge. Yet uncertainty will no longer feel like blindness. It will feel like passage. The man who listens inwardly walks with different stride. He is not immune to error, yet he reduces it. He is not exempt from hardship, yet he navigates it more wisely. The years saved through attunement are not always visible in dramatic moments. They are visible in fewer regrets, fewer detours, fewer misaligned commitments. Imagine reclaiming 10 years from misguided decisions. Imagine 20 reclaimed from ventures against your better judgment. Imagine 30 redeemed by steady alignment. Such redemption begins not in complexity, but in daily stillness. Return often to silence. Return often to your purpose. Return often to your inner counsel. In doing so, you will discover that the greatest guide you sought was never absent. It waited patiently for you to listen. And when you listen faithfully, life no longer feels like a series of random turns. It feels guided, directed, purposeful. The counsel you carry within is not mystical ornament. It is practical advantage. Honor it, strengthen it, live by it, and the door to wisdom will remain open throughout your years. There is a difference between the man who reacts to noise and the man who listens beneath it. The crowd hears what is loudest. The disciplined man hears what is truest. One is governed by volume, the other by vibration. Popular opinion shifts with circumstance. It praises today and condemns tomorrow. If you allow it to become your compass, your direction will change with every gust of influence. Years are lost in such drift. The sixth sense does not shout above the crowd. It waits beneath it. Only the man who withdraws from noise hears it clearly. That withdrawal is not retreat. It is refinement. Many have betrayed their quiet conviction for the sake of approval. They felt the nudge to act boldly, yet hesitated because others doubted. They sensed warning, yet advanced because others applauded. The cost of such betrayal is often measured in wasted years. Inner authority strengthens through obedience. Each time you honor calm conviction, confidence grows. Each time you ignore it, doubt increases. Trust is built between you and your own higher faculty through repeated faithfulness. Adversity refines the sixth sense rather than destroys it. When circumstances challenge you, noise increases. Fear attempts to return. If you remain disciplined, adversity sharpens listening. The difference between external approval and internal alignment is profound. Approval satisfies ego. Alignment strengthens character. Approval fades. Alignment endures. Observe the man who acts from inner harmony. He is not reckless. He is not anxious. He is deliberate. Even when uncertain of outcome, he is certain of direction. Others sense steadiness in such a man. They feel confidence in his presence. They seek his judgment not because he promises perfection, but because he radiates balance. 10 years may be preserved by refusing to betray inner warning. 20 preserved by declining paths misaligned with purpose. 30 preserved by sustaining faith in higher counsel when doubt surrounds you. Renew this discipline continually. The sixth sense is not a single achievement. It is daily practice. Silence must be revisited. Purpose must be restated. Faith must be reinforced. Set aside moments each week to examine your alignment. Ask whether your actions reflect your declared aim. Ask whether fear has re-entered quietly. Correction restores clarity. Over time, you become a pillar of calm for others, not because you preach wisdom, but because you embody it. Your steadiness offers reassurance in turbulent seasons. Guard humility carefully. The sixth sense is gift of disciplined harmony, not proof of superiority. Remain teachable. Remain reflective. Affirm daily. I honor the quiet conviction within me. I refuse to betray my inner counsel for applause. I live in harmony with higher wisdom. Repeat until this vow becomes instinct. The man who listens walks farther, not because his path is easier, but because his steps are directed. He wastes fewer motions. He retraces fewer errors. He corrects more swiftly. Years accumulate differently for him. Where others wander in circles, he advances steadily. Where others exhaust themselves in reaction, he conserves strength through alignment. You will still experience seasons of uncertainty. You will still face decisions without visible guarantee, yet you will not feel alone within them. The sixth sense becomes companion. It steadies thought when emotion rises. It tempers enthusiasm when caution is needed. It strengthens courage when opportunity appears. If you preserve this faculty faithfully, you will look back across decades with fewer regrets. You will recognize moments where quiet listening altered your course. 10 years saved by one act of obedience, 20 by sustained alignment, 30 by refusing to surrender inner authority. The world will remain loud. Circumstance will remain uncertain. Opinion will remain divided. Yet within you remains a chamber of clarity. Return to it often. Listen without strain. Act without fear. Remain faithful to calm conviction. For the man who listens walks farther than the man who shouts, and the distance he travels is measured not only in achievement, but in wisdom.